BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, good morning. Let's have a look at some of these charts then, shall we? Not too different from yesterday, believe it or not. More or less exactly the same when it comes to Bitcoin and S&P and whatnot. There has been some moves in the night. H-bar exploded, Algorand following. But really that's one of those situations that, I mean, to be fair with Algorand, it is what it is. To be honest, I think it's moving for association with effectively a similar kind of utility and promise that H-bar has, but yeah, I mean those sort of things are yeah, I mean they're just one of those moves that are not effectively given to you on a chart. The chart isn't an uptrend, I'll give you that, but to expect it to suddenly rocket, you know what I think's going to happen? Do you know what I think's going to happen, man? I think it's going to go from here to here, and then I'm telling you now, the next 4-hourly candle is going to be a 40% move, man. No, the chart doesn't say that. The chart isn't an uptrend, like I say, I'll give you that, but an H-bar is even more dramatic than that. So let's wind our necks back in, recognise that these aren't particularly normal. The wicks and candles so far just complement the fact that it's not normal. And let's focus on what is normal, which is this. So this is a uptrend. There's no two ways about it. This is an uptrend. We're above 50, 200, 20, 10. It's only the 200 simple moving average which has caused a bit of a problem here, 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 and a little front run over here. Now this doesn't mean that we're going to, lose this area. In fact, despite the slightly lower highs on these wicks, which it is, slightly lower highs, despite that, the more times you tap a resistance, the more likely it is to break. Same with the support. So, there is a good opportunity for it to break. But until it does break, I'm still going to class it as resistance. I would never buy a resistance, ever. I mean, it's just madness, because it might not feel like it, but it technically is FOMO. Because you'd be like, every day you wake up, you're like, oh, I should have took that position. I would have been this amount up. I should have took the position yesterday. I should have took it the day before. 3, 4, 5 days go by. Screw it. I'm taking the position. I'm sick of this, missing out on... No! It can happen. It can happen. We can come back down to the 60s. We can even come down to the 50s. I'm not saying that we will. I'm just putting it to you that we could do that. Now, the best way, I think, to try and navigate the crypto market as of this moment in time is to try to make sense of the stock market and the Forex market. And so far, this is SPX. It's not open yet. We'll have a look at the pre-market in a minute. So far, the bounce has continued. Now I say we, the royal we. I did expect this over the weekend, as we closed here, and this was yesterday, and we're probably going to continue into this today. Yeah, I did expect that it would be green, not just throughout the weekend, but Monday, and we've certainly seen it to be green. Might not be amazing green. I'm just betting on green, that's all I'm doing. I'm not saying how much it's going to go. But if we are going to find a rejection from anywhere, based on this 4-hourly setup that we've got right now, and again, because we were thinking this is a major support, it's also relevant on the weekly, this is a relevant resistance, and I'll show you again on the weekly as a relevant resistance on the weekly. So we've got support, resistance, downtrend. So we're downtrending on S&P. And if we're going to get rejected anywhere on this 4-hourly, where we've kind of got the edge on, it'll be here on this Bollinger Band Centre, basically exactly where we closed yesterday. And just for a bit of continuity, we've got the weekly here, so the support, again, this is your last week. This is the closure, where I said, if we're going to bounce from anywhere, it'll be here, based on the 4-hourly and the weekly. And we got the bounce, and where did we bounce to? A weekly resistance of a 10 exponential. So look, we've bounced from support, we're sort of hovering at resistance. What are we going to do next? That is the question. What is it going to do next? Our market's going to return to normal, or are they going to continue downtrending? Like, I'd like them to, just because I like the idea of something happening doesn't mean that it will. Again, evidence suggests the weekly will continue up, but also the 4-hourly ought to come down. So conflicting things on different time frames. So let's have a quick look at the pre-market then to see if we have any clues what's going on there. So it's a different setup. Yeah, it is a different setup altogether. This is obviously still bearish, but we broke out of the we broke out of the 4-hourly Bollinger Band Center, so slightly better looking setup. However, we are moving towards a death cross retest, so similar to Bitcoin's really in a way. Lots of bearish divergence on the way up and an extended money flow index as well, offering a pullback area of 95, almost 96. So the 4-hour does look like it wants to come down. And so if that is the case, where we're going to come down to, well, we can have the opposing view of the resistance now being the support. I know they're the same charts, but with different analysis, different ways to interpret them. But if we are looking for further pullback, we will expect it to come down and maybe catch a bounce around 5,020. So that's your S&P. So let's have a look at the Dixie, which is again still hanging around nonchalant, not really wanting to do anything. And to be fair, it's actually positioned in a slightly bearish way, looking for resistance either where we are right now or a tiny little bit higher. So conflicting things across the board. Stocks, I know it sounds stupid, and I know you don't tune in for this, but S&P, as in stocks, indices, could go up or it could go down. The weekly suggests up, 4-hourly suggests down, so maybe that just means down today, back up tomorrow. And so if that's the case, shall we think about what that means for Bitcoin? Is it down today, back up tomorrow? Because if that's the case, that would be a buy the dip, wouldn't it? A buy the dip to sell the rip. So obviously I'm oversimplifying everything. This is 10:30 on a Wednesday morning. All kinds of stuff can happen today on charts, in the news, and you know what I'm saying? Sorry, phone's going off there. So all I'm saying is, let's monitor the situation. It does look like a rejection is taking place today on the short-term timeframes, which means that maybe we should be thinking Bitcoin come down to around 65,400 or thereabouts. And if that is the case, maybe a small position could be taken around there. Alts seem to be following Bitcoin at the moment and maybe even showing some signs of strength against Bitcoin as the dominance chart continues with its downtrend, moving to its support down here. So I think there's still opportunity in this market, despite looking over a cliff face. And even if it is a cliff face, it's not going to be a fall which should end in absolute catastrophe. It would just be a pullback, a consolidation, getting ready to be picked up from a lower zone to then ride back up again, new all-time highs, and and so on and so on. So I'm not, like I say, perma bull, perma bear. I am a trader. I have a lot of skin in the game from a hodl position. I'm there. I'm not predicting anything chaotic and horrendous, but I'm still relatively in a large cash position, and I tend to stay that way until I see more significant downside, or obviously, because as a trader, you just go with the flow. All you want to do is take some money out of this market. Or if we reclaim this 200 simple moving average, use it as support, I would at that point expect to see 71,500, 76, 77, 80, 90, and so on and so on. So I'm waiting for the environment to be more suitable to deploy larger amounts of cash from my trading accounts. But don't get me wrong, I'm hodled up to the eyeballs, have been for many years, and that's the definition of a hodl. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. Couldn't do the live stream last night. Like I say, it's been a bit of a tricky month for me, but next month will be different, and I'll be able to attend all streams as usual. And if you're interested in joining the Patreon, there's links in the description below. Because I didn't do one yesterday, I will be doing a live stream tonight, so feel free to join, and I'll see you there. Otherwise, I just hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.